make a little comment first, and then I have the question. Some of the richest people in the United States are saying there is a need for more progressive taxation in some states and the national taxation. Our state taxes are getting more and more regressive year after year. Legislators can and should change this. And here's an example. South Dakota has the fourth most regressive tax system in the nation. The very rich pay 1% of their yearly income for taxes, while the low income people pay as high as 13% of their yearly income for state taxes. The question is, do you believe this is fair? If not, what will you do to try to fix it?
First part of the question, is it fair? No, I do not believe it's fair. Some of your major industries in the state are paying hardly any taxes at all. I was told last year Walmart did one of the best business years they've ever had, and they have paid no taxes last year. They got a waiver around them. And if I'm elected, I would like to change that with some bills to change that so we equalize the taxes. Now, I'm not for new taxes of any kind, so don't misunderstand that. Here right now is broken, and I think we have to fix it before we can do much of anything. We've got too much wasted money going on up there right now. We're giving away $10 million, $10.5 million to an oil company to come through here with an oil line. We've got 8 jet airplanes flying around the sky up there, or parked in pier, or whatever they're doing with them, I have no idea. Nebraska's got 1. North Dakota, I'm told, has got 1. I fail to see why South Dakota needs 8. So I think if you straighten out Pier first, then you start working on some of this other stuff. But I totally agree with you, and too much of that goes on in this state with your industries, with your big conglomerates like Walmart. I guess I better sit down and just told to stop.
I too agree that overtaxation is unfair. If we overtax, then people can't pay their normal everyday expenses, their mortgages, buy food. Businesses cannot afford to pay their employees. In South Dakota, I would like to see perhaps lowering property taxes and equalizing that fund across education. I am opposed to a state income tax. I believe that South Dakota has been running very smoothly without it. That's where I stand on taxes. Thank you.
Thank you. The question was from a former legislator who ran an income tax bill that actually got to the floor of the House and was debated and voted on. He did a lot more than I ever did. You either have a choice. Do you want the lowest teacher wages in the nation and this slack support for education, or do you want to pay for a first-class education? It has to come from someplace. Last year, I tried to debunk the myth that we have no income tax. I introduced a bill to repeal the bank franchise tax and the tax on premiums, insurance premium tax. Both of those are considered an income tax. It was a solid party line vote. The Republicans voted to keep that income tax, and the Democrats voted to get rid of it. Then I came the next week with a tax to include the Walmarts and other corporations that are making a lot of money in this state to pay like the banks and the insurance companies. Wouldn't that be fair? There's $100 million out there, folks. that could be accessed. Now, what does Walmart do? They go back to Arkansas with this profit, and Arkansas is doing very well, thank you. And so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that our tax system is unfair, it's screwed up, it needs fixing, and that's as far as I think you can go as a corporate first. Personal income tax is not viable because it takes 2/3 of the House and the Senate to pass any kind of tax change. My bill was to refer it to vote of the people, which would take a simple majority. Other states are doing it. In Washington State right now, where they have no income tax, they're hurting. All they rely on is a regressive sales tax, and they're putting to a vote of the people some kind of a business tax that would go to support infrastructure and education. So I think that makes perfectly good sense. Thanks. I knew that it was kind of.
I think the term regressive tax is a little bit subjective, but you want to see jobs go out of the state. You want to see jobs not be created. Bring in state income tax on corporations in our state. The more money they have to pay out, the less money they have to expand, the less money they have to employ people. It's just common sense. Now, we need to keep the tax burden on our businesses and our citizens as low as possible. The way we need to do this is, instead of raising taxes, we need to cut spending. We need to go into every program, look at it, and see where we can make cuts without severely impacting South Dakota's lives. Thank you.